What do people learn too late? To protect their ears. You don't want to live with tinnitus for the rest of your life because you were exposed to loud noise once. Learn this one. Too late. I can ignore it most of the time, but some nights. Setting and respecting boundaries. How to give a genuine apology, and other such communication 101 skills. Yes. Boundaries, 100%. It's not rude or selfish, or unladylike, to treat yourself with respect. The apology thing is huge. I'm starting to get the impression most people don't know how to give a real apology, or just won't take care of your teeth. People still don't believe me when I say that bad teeth can easily lead to cardiac arrest. My dad didn't have access to dental care for most of his life, and last year had to spend $20,000 on teeth repair because many of his teeth were rotting out of his head. The dentist said that if he had waited much longer, sepsis would have set in and could have killed him. I take extra good care of my teeth now. Lol, what signifies teeth bad enough to lead to that? Constant inflammation. Serious gum disease. Routinely sore teeth. That salary amount is not the entirety of an equation when deciding where to work. You have to take into account the cost of living, commute times, the safety of the nearby area, and the convenience of living in the area. Studies have shown that taking a 20-minute longer commute is as bad for your job satisfaction as a 19% pay cut. On top of that, wealth equals money in, money out. If a new job pays $20,000 more, but a friend property prices are $30,000 more per year, you are taking a pay cut. On top of that, you have to consider your future. Do you have to move to an undesirable location to work there? Crammed in a little apartment where the nearest services are an hour away? What about air quality? What about noise levels? Is this a place where you want to start a family and raise kids? All of those play a factor in determining the desirability of a job. I am a firm believer that my job doesn't exist outside this city is a bullshit myth. Even if you're a super specialized rocket scientist with a PhD in orbital dynamics, NASA is not the only organization with a job opening for you. There are many more factors to that. Is this a job you really like? If you are making more money, but hate the job, is it really worth it? You are spending most of your day and your life at that place. If that part of your life sucks, it will affect your mood and happiness a lot. And close to that, the work atmosphere. Are you getting along with your colleagues? Is your boss a decent person? The social part plays a big role and is often ignored. The importance of writing skills for formal contexts. Writing is an important skill in nearly any field, and the more a career advances, the more important it becomes. The lack of adequate writing skill often holds back a career. Yet many people squander their opportunities to learn writing because they think their class assignments are empty busy work, and they figure their skills in spoken English and informal text messages will carry over when they need to write for work. I work in it and write emails all goddamn day. We work each other's support tickets, so I have to read emails my coworkers sent to clients, and goddamn do people slaughter the English language. Also, if I leave a message and I will get back to you at my earliest convenience one more time, I'm going to lose my mind. My old boss, he would write emails to anyone the same way. Nothing was capitalized. Punctuation was like seeing a unicorn. If it had thank you in it, for example, it would be thank you even though he typed it on a computer. I took over all his email writing for anything of major importance because I used perfect, or at least passably formal grammar and language. I think he knew why and was cool with it. The responses when I sent the emails were generally much more positive. How dangerous driving a car can be. This is very, very true. I survived 2 car accidents without any scratch in 3 months. Drive safe, and remember, just because you have priority way, it doesn't mean that they will give it to you. Pay attention. Sometimes letting go of your priority is a way to avoid an accident. Edit. By priority way I meant right of way. I didn't know how Was it called in English, so I written how I would say it in my language. Letting an idiot having his way is preferable to getting into an accident with said idiot, no matter how well you are within your rights. And also know that one day that idiot will be you because you lost focus, as humans tend to do once in a while. That the cliche you never know when it's the last time you'll see to someone should absolutely be remembered for every occasion. My best friend just died in a car accident this past Saturday, and the last time I saw him we got in an argument and he left and we didn't speak after that. I'm destroyed by it. Edit. Thank you all so much for the support and for the awards. I do have a great support circle outside of this, but all these replies and condolences really shows the empathy complete strangers can have. My grandpa passed away 2 weeks ago from cancer. We flew to Saskatchewan, where he lives, and managed to see him. I talked with him and gave him a hug. Before we left, I had the feeling that I was never seeing him again. I snuck back into the room and gave him one last hug and told him that I will miss him. He died 6 hours later. I'm so grateful for whatever it was that told me to see him one last time before we went home. I'm so grateful you got that. My little brother passed this last Saturday and I will also be forever grateful for the feeling to tell him I love him when I saw him last. I wish I paid more attention to that feeling and asked him not to go out that night. How to manage their finances. Lesson number 1. $1,000 is not a lot to have, but it's a lotto. Lesson number 2. It's much easier to blow $100 than it is to make $100. Lesson number 3. Even if it's just $10, it makes a difference on how you spend or save it. What not to share on the internet. I am so grateful that my party years of 1323 occurred in a pre-camera phone era. Amen to that. My MySpace pics are embarrassing enough. I'm glad I don't come across cringe-worthy pics of myself in skinny scarves and leg warmers. Lol. I lived in AZ. Why on earth did I wear those things in 120-degree heat? Not to mention my emo face. Shudder. Those can't stain the family photo albums. That you might be wrong sometimes. Some never learn. Edit. Change late to you. I've discovered that my nature is to never accept that I'm wrong. I will give excuses, argue, but not accept. I've made it a resolution this year to just accept it when I'm wrong. In Western cultures, if you admit that you're wrong when you actually are, and ask how you can do better next time and then do it, people will be a lot more impressed than if you're the guy who is never wrong. Honestly, yeah. Never being wrong is a party trick. Being a good person shows commitment and the ability for growth. Far more impressive. That happiness usually comes from a diverse range of interests, hobbies, and commitments. You are not your job. Your romantic partner cannot be your everything, etc. It's so easy to get sucked into a life where your career is everything or where you wrap your entire identity around your partner. There is nothing wrong with celebrating your loved ones and being close. And there is nothing wrong with caring about your job. You just need more to thrive. I see this so often in relationships. Two people meet and fall in love. They each inspire one another based on their interests and achievements. It's part of what makes them fall in love. But slowly, over time, they let those hobbies go. Stress gets in the way. Bills pile up and then one day they find themselves wondering why they ever loved this person in the first place. Instead of being sexy and interesting, they're just part of a routine. TLDR. Diversify your interests and activities to be happy. Don't rely on a single person, hobby, or commitment to give you everything you need. Weave the tapestry of your life with many. Frazier R. Yes, but you added, make sure to weave the pattern that pleases you most. Oh man, that was the episode with Bill Gates. Too lol sitting on your ass all days. Not good for your health. That all rolls over onto stomach instead. Now you listen here, you little kid. That mental and emotional abuse are a real thing. Red flags. Sadly, if you grow up around that kind of behavior, You tend to believe that it's normal. Somebody I went to school with got mentally abused by his parents so much, and always used to get punished severely for poor grades. He was also denied basic freedoms though. Even when he became an adult he still wasn't allowed to go down to the local fish and chip shop without parental supervision, or go for a pint in the pub. He was also never taught basic life skills too. He's in his early 20s and is quite emotionally stunted to say the least. In fact, you'd think he was a teenager if you met him. The sad thing is, he doesn't recognize his parents are mentally abusing him. When he described his parents to me once, that's abuse. His response was, "They don't hit me, so it's not abuse. At least with physical abuse it's more universally seen as wrong, but mental abuse tends to be more subtle and it can be a real." Edit. I should mention, he wasn't from India by the way, he was from the UK. Which is what made it more odd in my opinion. British families are not normally known for being this strict. I met his parents very briefly once, and they just felt off. I wasn't sure if they were mentally well, to be honest. One of my friend's parents called CPS to their home once, but because there were no signs of physical abuse, CPS didn't bother any more.